In this breaking story, Pete Hegseth's vile post just instantly backfired as a brutal reply goes viral. That's right, Pete Hegseth continues to humiliate Donald Trump every single day. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you also agree that Donald Trump's administration is full of clowns. And right now, the top clown seems to be Pete Hegseth. He's getting called out left and right, and now even the White House is getting blasted for lying.
The White House is lying, but that's no surprise because they lie for a living, and the American people know it. It's my understanding that Pete Hegseth, the so-called Secretary of Defense, was absolutely involved. I think he may have even recently acknowledged that because the facts are incapable of being disputed. And so the question in front of us, and I believe there will be bipartisan investigations in both the House and in the Senate in order to determine whether war crimes were committed and either U.S. law or international law or both were violated. It's already been crystal clear that Pete Hegseth is the most unqualified Secretary of Defense in American history. I called for him to be terminated months ago.
And it's getting so bad now that even former colonels are speaking out condemning Hegseth's behavior.
If they did not see the survivors that were clinging to the wreckage of the boat, that would be potentially something where they could get out of a charge like that. But if they did see, if they were aware, or if they understood that there was even a possibility of survivors from this, their obligation was to disobey that order.
So disobeying that order. So in other words, if they went ahead and obeyed that order, supposedly, presumably, they might be committing a war crime and could be punished even though their superior officers had ordered them to do so.
Yes, that is correct. So that is one of the problems that you have when it comes to actually handling the laws of warfare, because sometimes in the fog of war, you don't necessarily see all the things that are going on. So a lot will depend on exactly what the responses are to the investigations, like Congress has talked about. Both the House and Senate have talked about investigating this matter. They absolutely need to do that because this is critical to the way in which not only we fight wars as the United States of America, the types of ROEs or rules of engagement that we follow, but it's also critical in terms of protecting the lives of the people at sea, both U.S. people as well as foreigners.
But now Pete Hegseth's vile post just backfired as a brutal reply goes viral. That's right. Take a look at this breaking story currently humiliating Donald Trump. Pete Hegseth just managed to humiliate both himself and Donald Trump after sharing a bizarre AI-generated meme that instantly backfired. The Secretary of Defense tried to rally support for Trump's deeply controversial shoot-to-kill maritime policy by posting an image of Franklin the Turtle firing missiles out of a helicopter at so-called drug boats under the title "Franklin Targets Narco-Terrorists." He even added, "For your Christmas wish list." But instead of inspiring confidence in Trump's latest military scandal, Hegseth triggered a public condemnation from the people who actually own Franklin. Kids Can Press, the publisher behind the iconic children's series, issued a rare and forceful rebuke. In a statement to The Independent, they said, "Franklin is a beloved Canadian character who represents kindness, empathy, and inclusivity." They condemned any violent or unauthorized use of Franklin's image and rejected Hegseth's attempt to drag a children's book hero into a real military controversy. The embarrassment for Trump's defense chief did not stop there. Social media users piled on, creating their own parody covers, including "Franklin Goes to The Hague," "Franklin on Trial at the ICC," and "Franklin Goes to Jail," all of it highlighting the core issue Hegseth was trying to deflect from. The scandal erupted after reports emerged that military personnel were ordered to fire on defenseless shipwreck survivors linked to suspected drug boats. Experts have called the act a war crime and a bipartisan group of lawmakers has already vowed to investigate. Hegseth is still defending the policy publicly, yet he is also shifting responsibility, claiming the final decision was made by Admiral Mitch Bradley, whom he says he fully supports. The attempt to meme his way out of a war crimes scandal has now blown up in his face, and Trump's defense team is facing a fresh wave of scrutiny at the worst possible moment. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.